Hi, albacores and alligators. So, for today's read aloud, I'm so excited to get us started with a little bit of review and warm up. So, we learned that spectators are people who watch an event, and we've all been spectators before. We learned that something that's a little bit silly or cute can be amusing, and when you retrieve something, it's when you go and get it. Okay, remember how Zeus went to go retrieve Persephone from the underworld. I want us to also be thinking today about where all of these myths have originated from. That's right, ancient Greece. And here is Greece on a map. Here's Asia and Europe, and we have ancient Greece right here. Now, I want you to be asking yourself, what are all of the components of a Greek myth? Go ahead and list them across your fingers. Think of all of the components of a Greek myth. We've learned a few. That's right. So, one, it's a fictional story. It's made up. The seasons are not made because Persephone spends 6 months of the year in the underworld. Totally fiction, right? Most Greek myths try to explain events or things in nature, like the ones we've heard so far. They might teach us a lesson or a moral, and it usually will have characters that are gods or goddesses, humans, and creatures. Here's the myth that we learned about yesterday. I want you to go ahead and tell yourself about this myth that we heard. You can think of it using the words like first, next, after that, then, and last. All right, I'm going to go ahead and try it now. First, Demeter and Persephone would spend all summer long tending to the fields, and there was always a beautiful harvest. Then Hades came, and he pulled Persephone into the spirit world of the underground. After that, Demeter was so sad. She was overwhelmed with sorrow, and she looked for Persephone everywhere. She grew old because of all of this sadness. Also, all of the wheat and the crops began to die because Demeter was not taking care of them anymore. Then Zeus thought to himself, we need to have some plants for humans. So he went to go speak to his brother Hades. And even though Persephone had had some pomegranate, he decided that they only would have to keep Persephone in the underworld for 6 months, and she could come and be with her mother for the other 6 months of the year. So finally, we have summer when Persephone is with her mom, Demeter, and we have fall and winter when Persephone is in the underworld. Does that sound kind of like how you retold the book? Now, I also want you guys to be thinking about what you know about these Greek gods. So here, we know Zeus. He's the leader of all of the gods on Mount Olympus. His brother is named Poseidon. And he also has a daughter named Demeter. Now, Demeter is the goddess of harvest. Think about what you know about Aphrodite. That's right, the goddess of love. I hope we learn more about her soon. Here's Ares. He is the god of war, and we saw that in our previous domain. All right, now before we begin, we're going to make some predictions. Today's myth is a story that was told to explain how one animal in nature was first created. In today's read aloud, Arachne the Weaver, a weaver is someone who combines strands of thread or yarn in an alternating pattern in order to make cloth. Oh, so like blankets must be woven together by a weaver. I also want to tell you that an arachnid belongs to a class of animals that are carnivorous. That means they eat other animals, and they have 2 segmented bodies, 8 legs, and no antenna or wings. 8 legs. I want you to predict, based on the title and knowing that the myth is about a weaver named Arachne, what animal this myth might describe.